This is the your feelings MAGA crowd when the jokes are about them. Your president makes fun of dead people every week and you don't say about it, sit down. The flip side is also true, that it's like these liberal critics of Trump who bemoan his incivility, that is not then just like a green light for you guys to just be and then whatever, just say, but Trump is not a defense of your own actions either. We're going to check in on what's trending, and in our internet story for today, talk about the comedian Druski, who just did a skit mocking Erika Kirk, of course, the widow of the late Charlie Kirk, who was so horrifically killed, the conservative activist, and now she's taken charge of Turning Point USA, and she's become a figure who I've defended a lot, not because I agree with her or I'm on the same page with her ideologically or politically, I'm not, but I just think there's no evidence to these insane claims that all these podcasters like Candace Owens have made about her somehow like being in on her husband's murder or a cover-up or anything. I think there's no there. And I think making such extraordinary claims absent any evidence is like despicable to do to a widow. But now a comedian, Druski, who I'm not super familiar with, but does skits and has made fun of lots of different groups in the past, he's going mega viral for a skit he just released that is mocking Erika Kirk. And I'm going to kind of tell you what both sides are saying about this and then offer my thoughts. And then we're going to check in with Candace Owens, who is, of course, honoring her friend, Charlie, that she always says she loves so much, by joining in on the mockery of his widow, because that makes total sense, guys. That's how I would totally honor my deceased friend. Anyway, here's the headline from the New York Post. Druski sets off outrage after dressing as Erika Kirk in latest viral skit. Quote, "This is too far." Then they show him in the makeup and whatever attachments or enhancements they did to his face to make him look like a satirical version of Erika Kirk. I will say, like, whatever you think of the morality of this sketch, it's obviously a very unflattering portrait of Erika Kirk, but the makeup artists and everything, like, I'm almost impressed because this is literally a black man and they made him look like that. Like, A plus for like just the, I don't know what that would even be called, like the production aspect of it. They really did capture a caricature of Erika Kirk effectively. Whether you hate it or love it, you should acknowledge that physically. Anyway, here's the text from the New York Post article. Controversial comedian Druski has triggered fresh outrage over his latest mega viral skit in which he dressed up as Charlie Kirk's widow, Erika, with many calling him disgusting and completely disrespectful to a grieving widow. The black comic painted his skin and sported a white suit, blue contact lenses, and blonde locks as he mocked the Turning Point USA CEO in his, quote, "How Conservative Women in America Act" sketch, which has racked up more than 40 million views on social media. In fact, by the time I checked, it was over 55 million. Like, this thing is going super, super viral. Like, very few things we've actually seen before. Anyway, at least recently, it's getting a mixture of people pushing back on this who are more conservative and on the Republican side of the discourse and saying, like, this is gross, it's distasteful. And I'm certainly sympathetic to that. I generally want Erika Kirk to be left alone. I think it's fine to criticize her in terms of how she leads Turning Point USA and in terms of the political statements she makes, but just like the mockery, and particularly not the mockery, but the people actually, the podcasters and ostensibly serious political commentators making like criminal allegations against her, I think is really messed up. But I'm also somebody who has and does defend offensive and edgy comedy. So I can see the other side of it too, where it's like, listen, he's got every right to mock her the same way that we defend comedians who mock trans people and other stuff. Anyway, we'll get more into my thoughts, but I'm going to show you what people are saying from across the political spectrum. The conservative radio host, Clay Travis, wrote, "Erika Kirk's husband was assassinated in September. It's March and a black comedian is putting on whiteface and mocking her in a video. Honest question, if a prominent black leader had been assassinated and a white comedian put on blackface and mocked his widow, what would happen?" I actually think this is an interesting question because I think he sort of made a point, but sort of also undercut his own point. Because what I believe would happen in the situation that he's described is that people like Clay Travis would be defending it and saying it's edgy humor, don't be woke, comedy is legal now. And maybe more progressive people would be saying how horrible it is and how racist. But it's like, but the people who are so upset about this right now, a lot of them would be defending it. So you might be right about the point that many people on the left are hypocritical, but I also think you might be pointing to some of your own hypocrisy here as well. I mean, folks like myself, I've defended Dave Chappelle and his like extremely funny, but also extremely edgy and offensive jokes about trans people. I've defended lots of edgy commentary. And I with comedians, I don't necessarily find this whole skit, and we're going to watch the actual skit as well, but like, I don't find it that funny. There's a couple points of it where I think he's like sort of connected with something real, like just the very like harsh features that Erika has in some of these shots. And obviously I think the fireworks at the and the at the turning point events and everything is, it's fair to make fun of that. And that's like not making fun of a widow just per se. That's like in her role as turning point president. So I'm not saying it's totally out of bounds, but I definitely understand why, especially in the context of the horrific attacks against Erika Kirk, this is repulsive to a lot of people. But I'm not going to support canceling a comedian. And Druski is a comedian. So you don't have to like the skit. You can find it gross. You can find it offensive. But beyond that, I mean, I'm never going to support a comedian facing consequences for trying to do comedy. And just, you're not allowed to say like, or it's not consistent to say, well, you can't make fun of a widow. All right, well, people on the right, and I agree with this, have been saying you can make fun of every marginalized group and every victim out there and every horrific tragedy, like the freaking Holocaust or like all sorts of terrible things. Where like, yeah, edgy comedy about that is fine. So you can't then be like, but a widow's off limits. And it's comedy. It's not like a podcaster actually accusing her of murder or anything like that. So I'm just saying I'm never going to support this guy being canceled or facing consequences for it. You don't have to find it funny. You can find it offensive. You can just keep it moving. But I'm never going to join a cancellation campaign against a comedian. I'm just not. That would be hypocritical. So anyway, the defense here from kind of more liberal commentators online, here, I'll give you a couple tweets. So one person wrote, MAGA clutching their pearls in the replies as if they didn't set the terms of engagement. Sorry, snowflakes, comedy is now legal. Another person put an image of Erika Kirk crying, and they said, this is the your feelings MAGA crowd when the jokes are about them. I mean, Ted Cruz, the Republican senator, quote tweeted the comedian and said, this is beneath contempt. To which the liberal commentator Adam Mockler wrote, your president makes fun of dead people every week and you don't say about it, sit down. And I think this is an interesting dichotomy here because it sort of makes a point, but sort of doesn't, in that two wrongs don't make a right. So if you're a liberal who has complained, like Adam, about the president's incivility, right? Making fun of Rob Reiner after he was dead and celebrating the death of Robert Mueller. And then you're also defending like people mocking Erika Kirk and being nasty to Erika Kirk. I think you have a point about Republican hypocrisy if Ted Cruz isn't criticizing the president for being nasty to dead people, but has smoke for comedians making fun of a widow. It's like, well, the president, you should have higher standards of decency for the president than for a comedian, obviously. And if you don't, you're being a partisan hypocrite. I mean, but the flip side is also true, that it's like these liberal critics of Trump who bemoan his incivility, that is not then just like a green light for you guys to just be and then whatever, just say, but Trump is not a defense of your own actions either. I don't know. I think that's an interesting question here. So like, what can I say? I don't really know what to say about this other than I would like Erika to be left alone. But we did say for years, edgy comedy is okay and nothing should be off limits and people need to stop being so sensitive. And so I think you can't consistently get too mad at a comedian doing this. But there's also some double standards to be pointed out here. I do acknowledge that. So I think the whole thing is kind of a mess. But I'm not sure what to do about it because, again, I'm not going to support canceling the comedian. So all you can really do is just not pay attention to it, not watch it, not support it if you don't like it. Like, what else is there to do without being a total hypocrite? But what is obvious to me, at least, is that if you're somebody who has anointed yourself like Charlie Kirk's true friend, then the one thing you would not be doing is celebrating the mockery of his widow by this comedian and lauding it and agreeing with it publicly. But that is what Candace has decided to do. No joke. That is what Candace Owens is doing. Here is a clip from her show where she watches the Druski clip and agrees with it enthusiastically. Let's watch.
People recognize all across the world that something's not right with Erika Kirk. And your best guess, if you were, I mean, just trying to extend the most rope to her, you would say maybe she didn't love him. Maybe she just didn't love him. She didn't even like the guy. They're fighting in the end, and that's why she's just like, okay, whatever, I don't care. We were on the rocks or something.
What is Candace talking about? I think there's definitely some ways that Erika Kirk has behaved oddly, and she's made choices that I wouldn't make. But the idea that she clearly didn't love Charlie, like, that's not true. We've watched interviews where she's very upset, like, and people grieve differently, and they go through stages where they feel numb. Like, I really do find that to be a despicable thing to say about Erika Kirk. And again, Candace doesn't get to play the comedian card because she's not just joking. She's serious as a heart attack. Like,
On the rocks or something like that. But even if you were a friend of his, you'd be reacting differently. Everything's wrong. And that is why comedians have picked it up. Comedians like Tim Dillon, comedians like Joe Rogan, and like Druski, who has dropped an absolute viral video kind of mocking more broadly conservative women. And sort of, look, I kind of picked up on it this year too, so I'm going to back him up here. But this sort of Christian grift, but it doesn't really feel like Christianity that we're looking at. Anyway, let me not do him. It would be a total lack of justice for me to try to explain to you the video. I'm sure you've seen it. It's been everywhere. Here is Druski mocking conservative women, namely Erika Kirk.
Get on your feet, boy!
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
how about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible. We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America.
So good.
Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes. Because they are the ones who matter most.
so that's the sketch. And obviously he's totally caricaturing what she actually said about white men. And, but I think it is okay to like poke fun at the pyrotechnics and all that at the Turning Point event, honoring Charlie and everything. Was a bit much. Was probably not the best choice, and people are allowed to mock that. I'm not going to clutch pearls on that one. But there is something strange about Candace, who's presented herself as the only person who actually cared about Charlie and the truth about what happened to him, and for a long time pretended to care about Erika Kirk and respect Erika Kirk, and even for a long time said like, oh, I'll stop my investigation when Erika tells me to. Then, of course, as soon as Erika told her to, stopped, changed her tune immediately and did not stop because the money was too good and the attention was too good. But it's like, you're the true defender of Charlie as you broadcast to millions a sketch mocking his widow and laugh and say it's so good. It's like, God, I hope I don't want any friends like that. Like, if my friends respond to my death that way by treating my widow or widower like that, like, it's not giving friend. I'm sure if Charlie's looking down on you right now, he's cursing you, Candace. Like, I don't know how she doesn't see that. It's just crazy to me, at least. But let's listen to the last bit of what Candace has to say.
Okay, that black guy like didn't say a single word, and so just takes away the entire scene. Just perfect faces that he's making behind him. This is how everybody's feeling. Everybody, for the first time, it's not left or right. It's like everyone's united in feeling this. It feels fake. It feels wrong. Tim Dillon called it out early. It feels like they just want our money and they're just going to keep saying the Lord and God and God and the Lord, so we can't question things because it would just be, oh my God, it would be demonic, as they always say, demonic.
I mean, yeah, Candace, you are kind of demonic. I'm not going to lie. When you, because you just constantly baselessly accuse people of murder, like, and you enrich yourself in extraordinary fashion while defaming random innocent people all the time, as I've covered extensively on the show. So yeah, people are, when they see you doing that, including to a widow and the mother of the children of the person you say you care about, people are going to have criticisms of you. And I hate when she's like, they just say we can't ask questions. Like, you do a lot more than ask questions, girl. You make accusations and you imply wrongdoing and you make massive factual errors that you never correct or acknowledge. And you just move the goalposts onto a new thing, like the whole thing about the Egyptian planes and how it all held the key. And then you got totally debunked and all the data was proven to be wrong. And you promised an update and then you just moved on and never talked about it again. Yeah, we're not letting you get away with that one, Candy. And I'm sorry, but you just can't. She also does this thing where she like pretends that everyone agrees with her about whatever thing. She's like, this is just how everyone feels on the left and the right. It's like, it's really not. I understand that maybe you're like in an echo chamber and you have a lot of people that affirm everything you say. And I do believe it. Making fun of Erika Kirk is a widespread sentiment now. That is true, but it's not, certainly not everyone. And it doesn't excuse your actions as a supposed friend of Charlie. Like, I would, even if lots of people are making fun of Erika Kirk, which is objectively true, if you're Charlie's friend, you wouldn't be joining in on it. And just the fact that lots of people are doing it isn't a reason for you to. Like, what? If one of my dear friends was getting roasted across the entire internet, I wouldn't join in on the roasting just because lots of people are doing it. Like, that's my friend. Like, I find this part crazy. The comedian thing itself, listen, I'm not gonna, I believe in everything being within bounds for comedy. And I think people need the freedom to get it wrong and to try things and offend people in comedy. And so it's like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. If you don't like it, that's fine. But beyond that, I don't know what else to say about like offensive comedy other than it is hypocritical to pearl clutch when you said comedy's legal now, and like when you laughed at jokes about HIV and jokes about the Holocaust and all that, but it's like, but somebody mocking Erika Kirk is too far. It's like, I mean, either we have to just allow it and everything is fair game, and then people can make jokes and do skits and comedy that offends people, or they can't. And I would rather err on the side of everything being allowed. But I can say, like, there's really no excuse for Candace. She's not just a comedian. She can't hide behind the just doing edgy jokes. And she's like actively participating in and uplifting the humiliation of Charlie's widow. How anybody still sees her as some true friend to Charlie, I truly don't understand. But that's not new. I've been struggling to understand that for months and months and months now. And I don't know. You guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button if you haven't yet. And that'll be it for today's episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk again real soon.